Kind of look like Lady Gaga on that Netflix when she comes out of the coffin. But like for me, that's a positive. That's a win. Hi. Long time no see. I haven't filmed in a while, but today I thought it really made sense to just do a quick YouTube video on a fungal acne hack that I have perfected this summer. After getting fungal acne last May, spending the whole of the last summer, to be honest, being really bummed out about fungal acne because I know it's not that big of a deal, but if you have it, you know how frustrating it is, because for me personally, it made me red hot days, which in the UK we don't get many of, but last summer and this summer, obviously because of global warming, the weather's changed so much, and I live in London and it's super humid. Anyway, I spent the whole of last summer trying to figure out a hack, and I actually did think about this hack last year, but I got too nervous to try it for reasons I'll explain. And thinking about it, I wish that I had tried it last summer, because I would have solved my whole problem and gotten rid of that fear of hot days and like humid weather then, rather than a year later, which is this summer, which is when I finally was like, you know what, I'm gonna try that hack. I've still got the product, I think it's in date, let me try it. So getting straight to it is this. I'm going to put it into context as well and talk about what it is and how it works in comparison to Nizoral and also the spray that I talked about last year. Like I'm going to explain, but if at any point you're like, what is this hack or what is the spray hack, I'll put all of the relevant video links in the box below. But getting straight to it, like I've got videos of this on my Instagram, I've got videos of it on my TikTok, but this is a brand called Clever Soap that I have seen on Amazon for a few years now, and I basically was just doing my research last year, and I was like, okay, what antifungals can I get that I can leave on my face that aren't in a cream format that I think will give me closed comedones? Because when you have fungal acne, you basically have an overgrowth of malassezia, which is a yeast slash fungus. It's a yeast slash fungus that lives on our face anyway, but sometimes it gets a bit out of control. Some examples are dandruff, that's actually yeast, and sebderm, which is basically like dandruff of the face. So a lot of people are like, oh no, I've got a fungal infection. You don't have a fungal infection. We all have tons of microbes, including yeasts and funguses, living like on our body naturally. It's just when it gets a little bit out of control and the balance shifts in an unfavorable direction is when you get stuff like fungal acne. And it's not actually a type of acne, it just looks like acne, but it's not considered true acne, which is why a lot of dermatologists don't like the name fungal acne. But personally, I just use fungal acne because I think like we all know what we're talking about. So basically, triggers are things like, I'm just going to touch on this quickly, triggers are things like humidity, sweat, tight hat or pressure on the face, but typically forehead, because obviously you normally wear a hat on your forehead. You don't tend to wear stuff that presses against your cheeks. It can also be products, but I personally have found this is not my trigger. My trigger is humidity and sweat. And that's why living in this flat, which has excellent insulation in London, but in the summer is literally an oven, which means I'm low-key sweating all day. That is why fungal acne has been a problem for me. So basically, when you get fungal acne, you need an antifungal. People talk about hypochlorous acid. They talk about using less moisturizer. Someone suggested, I know they meant well, but they were suggesting to me to use less moisturizer. Like none of these things will directly address the problem. You need something to fight the problem, which is an antifungal, because the problem is an overgrowth of a yeast on your skin. So I tried the Nizoral hack. This is shampoo, which has 0.1% ketoconazole in it, which is another antifungal. This one is all over TikTok. This one is all over the internet, this hack. You lather it up and then you apply it to your forehead and you leave it for a few minutes, and then it does help. But if you've tried this hack, you know it's horrible to use. It stings, it destroys your skin barrier. It's just not sustainable. Like this kind of works, but it was just making me so unhappy. It was making my skin so unhappy. And like maybe if you just had a flare up of fungal acne that came and went because you were on holiday, like this will work. But if you're living day to day in an environment which is triggering you, like summer in a humid country, you need something better than this, because this is not enough. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but if you're watching this video, you've probably seen this hack, and even though it does work, it's definitely not perfect. So I was looking for something that I could leave on my skin, but all the antifungal creams are in thick cream bases. But I know my forehead, right? My forehead breaks out so easily from thick creams. Like I only put quite light products on my forehead, and even then sometimes I can get closed comedones from it. So I needed something that had an antifungal in it and wasn't going to break me out, that I could leave on my face, that didn't have loads of other ingredients in that cream. So all these antifungal creams, like they were just off the table. Then I came across this. So this is the Clever Soap 0.5% Pyroxetone Olamine cream. Pyroxetone Olamine is an antifungal. It's in shampoos like Head and Shoulders and other anti-dandruff shampoos. Basically, I can't think of any other names, but there's lots of different antifungals. There's ketoconazole, there's miconazole, fluconazole, there's pyroxenolamine, there's zinc pyrithione. And I basically saw this and I was like, let me look at the ingredients. The ingredients are on the back. There's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 ingredients in this, and it's a gel. And 13 ingredients for a skincare product is very low, which is good because all I really wanted at the time was a antifungal agent that I could put on my face and not have much other crap in it. And this is basically just a gel, water-based gel with antifungal in it. There is also niacinamide in it, which I personally like, but I know a lot of people don't like. But yeah, basically, if you have a problem with niacinamide, I would still encourage you to try this because I don't know how much niacinamide is in this and it might not be that much. So I'm just saying don't rule it out if you haven't tried it, like at least do a little patch test. But yeah, basically I saw this and I thought, perfect. It's a leave-on product. Leave-on is going to be more effective than something you wash off like this. And it's basically got not much else in it. So all I do, and I'll put a video on the screen, the packaging is terrible, but apparently they have changed the packaging now. Yeah, that's the worst thing about this product. Okay, I literally can't open it. But I'm not going to bother trying because I know I've got a video that I can show you. And I've ordered a new one of these because the packaging on this one is terrible, but they have changed the packaging. All I do is I take a tiny little bit. A little bit goes a long way and you'll notice when you get it, and I just spread it on my forehead so that it's got a thin layer. I don't think applying too much is a good thing. I think you want to apply less and just make sure it's a thin, even layer all over the forehead. It depends on like how hot the weather is, because the hotter the weather, the worse the fungal acne for me. But today, for example, I did sweat a little bit yesterday. So what I did this morning was I applied it first thing in the morning. So either do it after cleansing, or if you don't cleanse like me, just apply it first thing underneath all of your other skincare. You want it to be the first thing that touches your skin. And then in the evening, I will also do it first thing after cleansing. And that's pretty much it in terms of like how to use it. I've had comments where people say that it works in like a day. They'll see a noticeable improvement. And that makes sense because fungal acne, like when you've found a solution for it, it does tend to clear up quite quickly. It doesn't mean that your triggers will stop triggering it though. So you do need to use this and try and also get rid of the triggers. But even when it's hot and humid, yeah, I might get a couple of breakouts, but nothing like I had before. It genuinely makes me feel like a lot more comfortable and happy to go somewhere where I'm going to be like hot and sweaty, because before I'd just be like, oh, my forehead's going to get so bad, and I don't really have anything that makes it that much better. Like they worked, but they didn't work as well as this, and now I have this, I'm like, this is good enough to make me feel a lot more comfortable and less anxious doing stuff. And the other question I get asked a lot is, can I also use this on the rest of my face? Now look, I'm not liable if you get like a bad reaction, but I think you can. I mean, I've used it here because I wondered if I was getting some fungal acne here too, and it seems to work fine. And I've also had other people message me and say they used it on their chest, they used it on their chin or cheeks, and it works just as well there. And I think one of the best things about this is because it is so simple, it doesn't damage your skin barrier. Like it doesn't give you any kind of like other unwanted reaction, at least for me personally. So yeah, I'm just so happy that this exists. And I don't think I've talked about it on this channel before, on YouTube before, but I am actually creating my own skincare product. I want it to be quite low key, like I'm not creating a skincare line. It's not going to be like a big launch. I'm just going to make a product that I really wanted to exist, to see if I like making skincare products. And I just thought I'd use that product that I want to create as my like tester to see if I like making skincare products, because if I do, maybe I'll make more. But this has inspired me, like it's given me some ideas of what skincare products I could make to fill gaps where these products don't exist. I don't want to just churn out like moisturizers for the sake of it. Like I love my moisturizer, I don't need to replace it. But the products that I'm creating and the ideas I have are all like things that don't exist that I think could really be useful. So this has definitely inspired me because it's pretty perfect. I mean, there are things I would change about it. Like luckily they've changed the packaging, but it's given me ideas. It's given me some ideas, let's just say that. I'm going to briefly touch on the spray. So last year I talked about the terbinafine hydrochloride spray that I found in Superdrug, and I still feel that works, but I feel like this works so much better. And I've written this all up on my blog and my Substack, just a small plug. My blog is free, my Substack is paid, but it has like different content on my Substack where I basically write a type of post called First Thoughts, which is like when new products launch, I give my opinion on those products. And I do that quite regularly, like I do 2 or 3 posts a week usually. So that's what I do on my Substack, and on my blog you usually get like broader topics. But I've posted this hack on my blog and my Substack. So the terbinafine spray I feel works well. I actually was getting my hair done like last summer, and a guy in the salon came up to me and was like, I used that spray and it saved my face. And I was like, Cool. I'm glad to know this is working for other people, because the reason why some fungal solutions don't work for some people is because there's different types of microbes on the face. It's a bit like finding the right antibiotic for the bacteria that's causing you a problem, which is kind of complicated, but there you go. So it's like this like gross jelly texture. You will have seen it in the previous clip. Basically, I just don't think the terbinafine was as good of an antifungal as this, as pyroxetone olamine. So the good thing about this is that it has a powerful antifungal. It's leave-on, and it's probably not going to clog your pores, like, for example, a ketoconazole cream or miconazole ointment. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be putting an ointment on my forehead. Like, that would be certain death. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I feel like I'm just waffling now. I'll put all the relevant links down below, and just let me know if you have any questions. I guess the one other question that I suspect I'll get is, if this doesn't help me, what should I do? I think if this and this don't help, I don't think you have fungal acne, because fungal acne does respond quite quickly. Like, at least within 3 to 4 days of using something, you should see an improvement. Like, not a total improvement, like it shouldn't all go away, because what happens is the yeast proliferates, so it like multiplies, it gets into your pore and it causes irritation in the pore, and then you get a little whitehead or like a little red bump, and that's what looks like the acne lesion, but it's just irritation in the pore from the malassezia. So that can take a while to go away. So you're not going to have like complete cessation of fungal acne if it's gotten quite bad, but you will notice after 3 or 4 days of using either of these, you will notice like smoother skin, like there will be some improvement. So I truly think if neither of these work, I think you're just dealing with closed comedones. And obviously, unless you're new to my channel today, I am so prone to closed comedones, and I put a picture of my skin, how it used to look on the screen here. You see I had tons of closed comedones. That was literally from one moisturiser, by the way, one moisturiser. And it took me like 6 to 9 months to clear it all using a retinoid, and that's kind of the whole basis of my content. Like, it starts with closed comedones, and then I talk about some other skin conditions that I have experience with. But yeah, if you are not seeing improvement from either of these two, I really think you probably just have closed comedones, which in my opinion, unless you're pregnant, just do the retinoid. Like, I just think retinoid is so much more effective than salicylic acid. That's just me. I'm a little bit biased, but yeah, I hope that's been helpful and I hope it makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions.